Wow. Hey there, sports fans. Robo here for Caravel Gaming. Gold creeping up. 4,700 at the moment. I've noticed opponents getting a little bit harder, a little bit tougher. Well, maybe that's just some bad luck on my part. A couple of those videos I've done with Boomer. You will see them after this video, but there's some brutal stuff going on in Arena there. But let's crack right on. I am feeling I should probably play a little bit more Warlock or Hunter. Hunter for me, I don't like the randomness of it. You know, deadly shot. Will you get the one that you need to get? Same with multi-shot. Though usually, you know, doing 3 damage to 2 targets is pretty brutal. So I will get round and play some more Hunter eventually. But I think at the moment, Warlock a crack. Yeah, 2 pretty unplayable cards and a questing adventurer. We'll go ahead and take the questing adventurer. Now, there's a few different ways of playing Warlock. You can go for the long game, so where you're going to be drawing a few cards off your abilities and just sort of beat them up with card advantage. And if we go that route, then we should take the taunts. You know, taunts are really important in that. And the other route is where we just try and smash them really fast with lots of cheap monsters. But I just think Senjin Shieldmaster's the best pick here. Like, the Hunter is pretty close, and the Wolf Rider's also okay, but I just like... I don't know if this is the correct term, but his meatiness. You know, he's such an annoying card for a lot of people to deal with, especially when, like, all the 3-drops are like 3/3 and stuff like that. Well, this one's pretty easy pick here. Dark-Eyed Dwarf, very solid 4 mana pick. I'm a big fan of Soulfire because, you know, of the tempo that gets offered from this card, so I'm more than happy picking these up when they're offered. I mean, you know me, I don't like the Rifleman. I don't like the Tauren Warrior either, so we're going to have to take the Frostwolf Warlord here, which, you know, is a solid card. Demon Fire's pretty flexible, so it's just 2 mana for 2 damage, takes out quite a few guys. Can occasionally buff your guys up to do silly things. Leper Gnome's also okay, and, you know, you can consider that there. Don't really like either of these 2 cards, so yeah, let's take another Soulfire. And I guess we have to take another Demon Fire here, because both of these cards are pretty unplayable. Another Dark-Eyed Dwarf. Don't mind if I do. I actually don't mind Felguard. You know, I think it's okay. In a lot of Warlock decks, especially where, like, the most expensive stuff you are casting is sort of like 3 or 4 mana. But Azure Drake's just an amazing card. Love me some Azure Drake. And love me some Frost Elemental as well. I'd be a little bit worried about taking the Succubus here because we've got 2 Soulfires as well, so we don't want to be discarding too many cards. And Succubus is one of the weaker discard cards in that respect because your opponent can make a 3/2 for 2 mana and it would end up trading with the Succubus and you'd be down a card as well. I'm Fur Grizzly's certainly okay because of its taunt. So I'm going to go with Mr. Frosty there. And I quite like Stormwind Champion as well, so we're going to go for a slightly slower deck that's just like, got a lot of value to it. Definitely happy with the Rays of Hen Hunter here, especially like producing a boar on turn 3, because if they don't kill the boar, we've got a couple of Dark Iron Dwarfs to turn it into a 3-1, so potentially it can take something big out. Guess we're looking at another Demon Fire here. Just trying to, get a lot of removal here in the early game. Not a huge Acolyte of Pain fan, in fact I think it's pretty poor. The Leper Gnome's certainly okay to consider, and Mortal Coil certainly okay to consider as well. Wow, another Questing Adventurer, or a Young Priestess. Ooh. Well, with all these removal spells and stuff like Soulfire, I mean, if you like play a Questing Adventurer, and they have a minion, and then you can Soulfire it, get your guy up. That seems okay. I'm not a Summoning Portal fan. I'm not a Raid Leader fan. I'm not particularly a Corruption fan either. But if I had to pick one, which I do, man, that is a tough one. Which bad card do we want? I think we can go with the Corruption. Yeah. This would be like a 4th Demon Fire, and we don't really have any demons yet as well. That's a really awkward thing. Abusive Sergeant's pretty cool. He's okay. So it's Abusive Sergeant or Demon Fire. I guess we take the Demon Fire and maybe hope we get like a Gadget Zan Auctioneer or something. I mean, Demon Fire can backfire if your opponent makes like a 2-3 on turn 2, but most of the time they make a 3-2. We might end up getting destroyed if they make like a Fairy Dragon or something. We just got a bunch of Demon Fires. And there's a slight argument for Silverback Patriarch, because again we've got the 2 Dark Iron Dwarfs to actually turn it into something reasonable, because a 1/4 is just not good enough. Abusive Sergeants also could be considered. Yeah, I don't think we want too many Demon Fires, do we? I'm not a big flesh-eating ghoul fan. For 3 mana you can get a 4/3. It is a rare. So I think we just take the War Golem there. Shadow Flame, Siphon Soul, Abomination. I'm not going to take the Abomination. So the question is, Shadow Flame or Siphon Soul here? I mean, Shadow Flame is ultimately doing 2 damage to everything, but I think because we've got so many removal spells already, that they're not going to have too many minions out at one time, so we're going to take Siphon Soul. I think I'll get sort of more use out of that than anything. I think we have to take the Dragonling mechanic here, because we're really struggling on minions. We don't want too many spells. We've got so many spells already in this deck. And Drain Life isn't that impressive. Well, it's got to be Emperor Cobra. He's okay, he's a solid boy. Another Stormwind Champion, I guess. I like Venture Company Mercenary in this kind of deck as well. I think it works pretty well. I think it's got to be Raging Worgen here. And it's probably got to be Bluegill Warrior as well, even though he's quite weak. Not much going on at 2 mana here, just, you know, 3 Demon Fires and a Bluegill Warrior. So I'd like another Venture Company, but I feel we gotta keep some of these cheap cards in, though, you know. Do you have an Abusive Sergeant? Looking like being a loot hoarder there. Oh, wow, that is a tough one, cause, you know, Dreading Film's obviously lovely, but Shattered Sun Cleric. I think we just gotta go with that. Just that little bit too strong, really, to pass up there. More bad cards to choose from. Another Bluegill Warrior? I guess it has to be, doesn't it? I mean, what else can we do there? Well, this is nice and easy one. Sunwalker. It's just awesome, this guy. Just awesome. So pretty interesting, really. Nothing particularly broken. Didn't get offered a single card with silence. Didn't get offered any oozes either. Only the one Shattered Sun Cleric, no Defenders of Argus. No Yetis. Would have loved a Chillwind Yeti or two just to help fatten out in the middle of this deck.
Gul'dan versus Valeera.
Watch your back.
Your soul shall be mine!
These 2 cards aren't particularly aggressive. So I'm going to throw them both back. Keep hold of the Corruption just in case sort of the rogue does something ridiculous. Oh, awesome. So it dies to a weapon, but, you know, it uses up the rogue's second turn if that's what they want to do. Or use it backstab as well. She also has 55. So here's that play we were talking about anyway, and I think it's okay to make it.
Give me a quest.
Shame about the Shattered Sun Cleric, but had to be done.
Let the pain speak to me.
That seems a pretty weak play from him there, to be honest. So we could make the Dark Iron Dwarf, beat him up for 6. We could put the Corruption on his 1-3.
So many possibilities.
And even use a Demon Fire to turn this into a 5-5, maybe. I don't think we need to rely on the
Quest accepted.
You know, plus, I mean, this is like a lot for a rogue to deal with. You know, the Questing Adventure is threatening to get out of hand, but even the 4-4 by itself, still a very nice card.
I wonder.
Quest failed.
Guess we're looking at drawing a card here, right? Not a whole lot going on otherwise. And still not a whole lot going on. Pretty big waste of the turn. Another questing adventurer. It's got to be a risky play, that. Awkward.
Give me a quest.
I don't think we can afford to soul fire, so let's just pump that guy up there. He'll now run us into the questing adventurer, but he's big enough that he'll survive.
This is our town, scrub.
Mistakes.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
Truth is my shield.
Sunwalker, very good card. Pretty difficult for Rogue to deal with it. You know, he's getting multiple cards out of his hand here.
What we do.
Seems fine to me. So we could double demon fire it. Beat him up, put him to 11. The soul fire would put him to like 7 there.
I wonder.
Or we could shake our chance with the soul fire and hope we don't discard the Frostwolf Warlord.
Justice shall prevail.
The Frost Wolves stand ready.
So he's got an awful lot of cards still in his hand. Seems to have quite a slow deck here. Doesn't do anything, it just kills you. I mean, why would you do such a thing? Okay, cool. Done me 3 damage. That's nice.
For the Horde!
Justice shall prevail.
Strange opponents there. Not sure they quite understood the fundamentals of playing Rogue. I mean, I had a few bad turns, especially in the early game where I couldn't really do that much and opponent didn't capitalise at all. In fact, I think I did pretty much close to nothing turn 5 and I just drew a card. So maybe, I mean, you know, we took a lot of spells, but I don't think we had the opportunity to take less spells due to what was on offer.
Rexa!
Let the hunt begin. Your soul shall be mine.
Well, these have to go back. And I'm also going to sit here and do nothing for turn 1. Pretty rubbish turn as well. We could draw a card and hope it's a Soulfire, because we do have a couple in there. Oh yeah, we'll do that because we can coin.
So many possibilities.
We can play like a questing adventurer and then coin and maybe mortal coil to get it up to 4/4. Or maybe we'll just destroy his minions. I think that's probably a much better option this turn. Like, yep. Drew them both one after the next. Awkward.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
So, if he's got a deadly shot, then Straggling Mechanic would be a good option. And I like it anyway, simply because
Just me and Mr. Fight.
if he attacks a 2/4 with the 3/3, I can finish it off with a Mortal Coil. And deadly shot's not as good when they've got 2. That works fine. He's also presenting me with the option of a Dark Iron Dwarf to finish it off here. Seems a cool choice. But we're gonna go ahead with this.
Yeah.
Get the questing adventure out there.
To Northrend!
Yeah, he's pretty good. Soulfire's pretty good as well. And perfect
Give me
for
a
this
quest.
turn, in fact.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
Nice. Well, there's definitely an explosive trap and a freezing trap in there. I think we can safely say that.
Push forward.
Okay. Star action, interesting. And a snipe for the other one.
Quest accepted.
Really? Siphon Soul on a 2/3. Just can't bring myself to do something like that.
Get in there and fight, maggot!
You call that a weapon?
I don't think we need any more cards at this point.
I hear you got a problem.
Yet more secrets. Well, now we know it's explosive trap, right? But we can keep our guy alive.
Behold the might of Stormwind! Sever my wrath!
Done.
Unfortunately for him, I have a Siphon Soul.
For the Alliance!
Oh, I've been inside that thing for months.
And that's everything dealt with.
Don't mess with us.
Behold the might of Stormwind!
Because strike!
So there's lethal right on the board. 15 damage right there.
You gotta be kidding me!
And that's
You call that a weapon? Sucks steel.
I'm just laughing at the Murloc there. I think because it's one of the weakest cards. And it would have also done the job at the end there. How lucky! You drew a 2-1 Murloc. Beat you. It's a little bit of an awkward game there due to that 7-5 with stealth. Me going, can't target it. All these spells. I'll just play with the cancel button until I get an opponent. There we go.
Gul'dan versus Thrall.
For Doomhammer, your soul shall be mine!
Going second, I don't think Questing Adventure is that great. But do we really have a choice but to keep it? You know, because often you're put in a situation where going second, your opponent has a minion and you don't, and you kind of always want to put Questing Adventure onto an empty board. I think just throwing out an Abusive Sergeant's good. Stops him from just, you know, making a totem. And hopefully these two minions, if they do survive this turn, get to protect the questing adventurer a little bit. Or maybe they don't. Because our opponent makes a 2-3, which is extremely awkward.
Sever my wrath!
Really appreciate it if you attacked me. I would be very happy if you attacked me. Works quite nicely.
Give me a quest.
Sever my wrath!
It's a little bit risky. But I'm thinking, you know, he can't kill my 4/4 yet. That works. But he is getting pretty low on life there. Awesome. Nice draw. So he can't really attack my 4/4 with his weapon, you know, he'd be taking 8 damage if he did. That's not the play.
I feel icky.
Really not the play. Wow. Wow. Oh. Super bad. Seems really, really quite bad to be doing that.
Just me and Mr. Fight.
He pretty much has to make taunts for the rest of the game now. Like, the fact that he's drawing cards isn't as important as the fact that he's down to 6 life. We've got this handy Siphon Soul for if he makes something ridiculously huge that has taunt. We've still got all these soul fires in the deck somewhere. Yep, he's pretty good. How are we doing for these soul fires? There's one. Just need one more now.
Mind if I roll need?
too many spells he could have there to just finish me off. I can always draw a card myself next turn. Yep, I would have died to that. Ah, it turns out I still die anyway, okay. Fair enough, but... you can really see how some of the weapons are there in the game. I think I've said to some previous videos that I think that Doomhammer should probably be nerfed. I mean, you know, it single-handedly turned that game around. I still would have won if I'd had my Soulfires earlier in the game. Just to take the tempo back.
Gul'dan versus Uther.
I will fight with honor. Your soul shall be mine.
I'm actually happy with the Loot Hoarder here. You know, he's a pretty weak card, but very often your opponents will coin turn 1 and make a 3-2. And you can just plop the old Loot Hoarder down there. Instead we're going to Demon Fire. The reason we're going to Demon Fire is if our opponent's got an Argent Protector, so I make the 2-1, he puts the bubble on the 3-2, beats up the 2-1, gives him great ball position, 2 minions against my opponent. At least doing this means you know, that's not going to happen.
Give me a quest.
So I could have Soulfired the 1-1, but it's just too many cards to get rid of at that particular spot there.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
Mind if I roll need?
It's that time, so I kind of wanted to keep hold of the dwarf there. It was the one card I was thinking I really would like to keep hold of this dwarf here. He's pretty good.
Tadingo!
So Consecration will clean up my side of the board here. Because this ghoul will become a 3-3.
Squire, attend me.
Ready, sir.
Ah, very nice draw.
Hey, give me that!
So we've got a few choices here. If we beat up his 2-2, we don't get battered by Consecration as much, but if we beat him up, and this guy, this 2-1, sticks around for a turn, then the Stormwind Champion does a lot more next turn.
Hey, give me that!
And I feel he probably would have Consecrated a couple of turns earlier. There was a couple of nice spots where he could have done one.
What you want?
Oh, there we go. Turns out I was wrong about that one, doesn't it? Don't listen to me, is the answer to that question.
Don't mess with Tusker.
So again, same thing, keeping his guys on. So we don't get savaged by Blessing of Kings. Or an Argent Protector, something like that. But we got some nice late game now, big guys.
What does the future hold? Behold the might of Stormwind!
Suck steel.
So he does get a Blessing of Kings here. On his 2-3. We have given him a turn to do that. But he hasn't abused us, which is awesome. Let's see if he's got the brains to attack my 2-2 first, I'm sure. But now is definitely a good time to get this Sunwalker out.
Truth is my shield.
For the Alliance!
So he was looking at healing himself there, so maybe an Earthen Ring Farso or something like that.
Reporting for duty.
Just making more guys.
Behold the might of Stormwind!
No reason not to make more guys.
For the Alliance!
You know, I'm quite happy taking a risk here that he doesn't have another bubble.
Protects me.
But even if he does, we just have so many of these guys just like beating him up directly.
Reporting for duty.
Is he dead? He's up. Yeah, he's dead. Awesome. Guess we just go down that. So we got things back on track. I'm a lot happier in sort of the games that go that bit longer there. When I start getting my big guys out. You only had the one consecration. I didn't see any true silver champions. No Blessing of Kings, so you know it wasn't the best paladin draft.
Gul'dan versus
I
Malfurion.
think he got pretty unlucky with some of the cards he was offered not to have any of those on
Your
show.
soul shall be mine!
Nice, nice hand. Just getting nicer as well.
Get in there and fight, maggot!
So if he wants to use his coin just to kill the 2-1, I'm cool with that. You know, it doesn't matter that I have nothing to do on turn 2 because I can just draw a card. Obviously I'd like it if he made a minion, but he's never going to coin into a 3-2 when I just make a 2-1. So you know, there's no chance this Demon Fire's getting used. He might coin into the Murloc that summons another 1-1 Murloc. I could see him doing that. I think most of the time he's just going to beat my 2-1 up and use his coin for that purpose. And maybe you could have just played the Raging Walk, and maybe that would have been better there.
Just me and Mr. Fight.
Because, you know, the Demon Fire being 2 mana means you can play it on turn 4 with another 2-drop. So, you know, having cheaper spells in your hand give you a bit more flexibility with what you can do on a turn.
I wonder.
But, you know, just outright killing the 3/2 maybe stops any cheeky trickery from him next turn. But it's not so much cheeky trickery, because Shattered Sun Cleric will still mean that you'll have a 4/3 and it'll trade with my 3/3. I feel the longer this game goes on, as long as my life total stays high, the better I'll do here.
Don't mess with us.
And if I roll need?
Oh, sorry about being muted there. I didn't realise that. Whoops. Be interesting to see how long that went on for. Yeah, I turned the mute off just to take a drink and forgot to put it back on. So we get battered here by a swipe, which is why I traded my 2/1 with his Harvest Golem. He's certainly having a long think about this one.
What to do?
Where shall I strike?
Never like charge on that card. Please attack me. That would be awesome. I'd appreciate that enormously if you were to do that.
Give me a quest.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
Now obviously we take this guy out, because he can be healed up, whereas the 4/2 cannot. So, you know, if he makes an Earthen Ring farce here, he gets to beat up my 3/3 with his 4/4. Obviously the 3/3 is never surviving this turn. Well, this 3/3, particularly the questing adventure. Obviously it's dying.
What a crusade!
So, quite a few options here. See, I'm fine trading these off, you know, it's still a 2 for 2 there. Doesn't really change anything. Could just make a big War Golem. War Golem looks cool.
Push forward.
Druids typically struggle dealing with minions in that they don't have much in the way of direct removal. Obviously you can Starfire and stuff like that, but you know, whereas like a rogue's got a card called Assassinate, it just says 5 mana, destroy a minion. The druid one, which costs 1 mana and your opponent draws 2 cards, is like really weak very few people will ever play it.
For the king!
Mind if I roll need?
Nice draw. Certainly go with that.
Truth is my shield.
I don't like the idea of attacking him for 7. It's a bit early to be doing stuff like that, really.
I must safeguard the land.
We'll set up a situation here where I can at least put this Stormwind champion down and beat some things up. Cool. And that's also a pretty cool draw.
Behold the might of Stormwind!
Justice shall prevail.
Works very well. I think he was thinking my 4-4 would go back to being a 4-3 there. Well, let's draw a card since we've got 8 mana here.
The Frost Wolves stand ready!
Justice shall prevail.
I'm ready! I'm not ready!
Must be nice.
Behold the might of Stormwind!
Your magic shall not save you. My shield for Argus!
Well, he just has the answer to everything here, doesn't he?
Give me a quest.
You call that a weapon?
For the Alliance!
Can I afford to draw a card? Yes, of course I can. Because there's stuff like Soulfire and things
For the
like
king!
that. And perfect card there, so... You know, he had so much that he could have done anyway. I think it was a mistake to draw a card there. I was definitely behind on the tempo, so... You gotta take risks sometimes. He would have inevitably have drawn something.
Gul'dan versus Anduin.
The light shall bring victory.
Your soul shall be mine.
This corruption that we really don't like. Maybe we just keep it. Yeah, it's the only time it's going to be useful when in these sort of slow starting hands. At least we got an answer for the fairy dragon now.
The light shall burn you.
Okay, you're getting square. So we get a lot we can coin into
Get in
this
there,
next
fight,
turn here.
maggot.
That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah,
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
We could have just obviously coined into a Dark Iron Dwarf as well. Absolutely fine.
Tazdingo!
That was his shadow word, pain. He couldn't possibly have two, right?
Tazdingo! You call that a
I like this play because Dark Iron Dwarf can obviously turn it into a 4-1. I mean, no big deal really.
You call that a wet done?
Feel this corruption is going to sit here and do absolutely nothing.
Drink with me, friend.
But we do get to make quite a big questing adventure this turn.
Give me a quest.
Could even soulfire him to make it 5-5, but I feel that'd be a bit greedy. Let's try and get down to just a couple of cards here. That's cost him the game. Why would you spend your mana drawing a card there? Seems really bad.
Give me a quest. Quest accepted.
Bish bash. We got lucky. It discarded the corruption. Not gonna lie to you, it's looking pretty grim. Mine roll.
Quest accepted.
That worked well. 5 cards in his hand when he died. He just had too slow of a deck. Is a problem a lot of priests do have. They go, look at all these expensive cards I can pick. And then they never get to play any of them. Because it does make me wonder, like, what those cards were for him to still have so many. There probably was a mind control in there.
Gul'dan versus Thrall.
For Doomhammer, your soul shall be mine.
There's that corruption again. Can't get rid of it today. Gonna coin into anything? Or do I get to draw a card? Well, I did get to draw a card. And then I drew a loot order instead. Works for me.
Hey, give me that!
Give me a quest.
Yeah. I was pretty sure that 2-2 wasn't going to survive.
Quest failed.
I think we just used the corruption here.
Hey, give me that!
I mean, might as well get some use out of that corruption. And that was a very nice draw for me there.
You call that a win?
Hey, give me that!
Quite good, quite good. He's got way too much overload going on here, it's costing him a lot in sort of tempo, I think.
Give me a quest.
Don't mess with Tusker.
Always with the removal for those guys. You know, he just can't let me have one of them.
What to do?
Flame Tongue Totem in the middle would work. Got his bloodlust out of it. Not much at all.
Don't mess with Tusker.
And a very nice draw from us as well.
Wolves stand ready.
I think maybe he should have, maybe, I don't know, summoned the totem first. I think we're just drawing a card here, to be honest.
I wonder.
Oh, that changes things considerably.
For the Horde!
I was just gonna ride my 6-4 into his 6-5 there.
Behold the might of Stormwind!
Might as well beat him up with the frog as well, right? It's like, oh yeah, the frog gets a buff. He just always has an answer. Always has an answer.
Get in there and fight, maggot!
You call that a way?
Obviously, Soulfire would have been the card to get there. Put him to 2. Yet another lightning bolt. Because he doesn't have enough of them already, right?
Just me and Mr. Fighty.
Tazingo! Yes!
That's a pretty rubbish card for him to draw there. And it turns out we can just go ahead and kill him. Which is awesome. Yeah, don't like that Dust Devil at all. So, you know, I'm not entirely impressed by Warlock as a class. I do think it's one of the weaker classes out there going. It's not as sturdy for me as like Paladin or Warrior. I think Shaman's pretty sturdy as well, you know. Warlock can just be a little bit more random number generator reliant.
Gul'dan versus Anduin. The light shall bring victory.
Your soul
There's that
shall
corruption
be
again.
mine.
Just will not leave me alone.
Get in there and fight, maggot!
He's probably got like a Shadowword Pain, really doesn't want to use it on a 2-1.
Mind if I roll knee?
Sever my wrath!
So we've got a pretty cool, like next turn if we want to do it, we can get Questing Adventure up to 4/4 and sort of out of Shadowword Pain range. I mean, you know, he's going to have a silence a lot of the time, but... You know, I certainly don't mind it as an option.
Give me a quest.
Let's hold on to this coin for maybe a Venture Company Mercenary next turn. Yeah, I mean, that puts a lot of pressure on him, doesn't it? That puts an awful lot of pressure on him.
I wonder.
You call that?
But, you know, doing this also.
Quest accepted.
Because, you know, our hand curves out really nicely here. And, like, I don't really care if he kills a 6/4, I'm still going to have a 4/4.
Quest failed.
And we can just make big guy after big guy after big guy and just keep piling pressure on him. Maybe we just draw another card.
Done.
Just bury him under cards. Definitely corruption, this guy. It's the only real use we're gonna get out of it, right? I mean, we are taking 7 though.
I wonder.
Can be a little bit risky to do that. Yeah, maybe Siphon Soul's actually okay here.
Behold the might of Stormwind!
You gotta be kidding me!
Well, we're up to mind control region. It's kind of that part in the game where we can't really avoid the fact that there's a mind control. You know, you just have to like suck it up and say, yeah, I'm gonna win.
Tazdingo!
Yeah.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
Anyone who draws sort of multiple mind controls as priest is always going to win in those situations. Like doing it, to be honest. Pretty sure there's nothing I can do here. Yep.
You win.
So like I said, you know, I think Warlock's one of the weaker classes for that reason. It's no real surprise. I didn't do as well. Yeah, certainly a class I would never choose to play. There's just too many times where I'm just not comfortable with what's going on. And so for all of you saying, oh, you know, Ribbo, why don't you play Hunter or Warlock or some of these other classes? Because I don't like losing, you know? I think that's pretty obvious I don't like losing. I can get irate from time to time at some of the ridiculous things that can go on. Nice Feral Spirit there, I'll certainly use that if I ever make a Shaman deck, I think. But I might well just stick to playing classes I like, as ultimately that's why I play the game, to enjoy myself. And you know, if I'm playing the game simply because someone else wants me to do something, then that's not the reason for playing games. You play games to enjoy yourself. There's no other purpose to games. So anyway, guys, thanks for checking this video out, and well, click like if you liked it. I mean, pretty certain all you've learnt is maybe a class not to play. and don't draft all those demon fires as well. Not that I don't think I had a choice in the matter, but until next time, ta-da.